Okay, I hope you can hear me all right, but we're starting on the floor today with my toes out because I got some things. I got some canvases for free. We have this one here. It's a pretty long one. And this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So what about like one, two, three, four, six canvases here? Wait, six, let me just, yeah, six canvases here. And you think that I got them all for free. So, and even better, there's four more here. And these are 100 by 100, so about a meter by a meter. Completely new. Got them all for free. So, yeah, I got 10 canvases completely for free, which is crazy to me because my art teacher, she was cleaning out her studio. So that's why I'm getting all this for free. Yes, so enjoy the video of whatever I'm gonna paint or do. Okay, I'm painting now again. Sorry. As you just saw, I picked up some canvases, but that clip was very new. Like, that was the day I finished this painting, actually. And the reason I put it before that is because I wanted to show you guys that I got a lot of canvases for free from my art teacher. Because she was moving stuff out of her studio, and she doesn't really paint that much anymore. And she was like, if she's going to paint, it's gonna be in a very long time. So she wanted the canvases to go to use, and she thought, I might use it. And I said yes. So I got 10 canvases for completely free, and even some bigger sizes. But I had to use my dad's car to pick it up because he has like a very similar old car to mine, but it's just has a bigger trunk compartment. Yeah, just has more space. Yeah. So now onto the painting. This canvas though isn't one of those. It's not one of the 10 I got. It's a different one I got from a thrift store where I get most of my canvases usually. Mostly because I'm cheap and they're very cheap. I'm gonna have to buy new canvases at some point, especially if I want to make something in a specific size, but most of my stuff doesn't have a specific size in mind. Like, that's not really part of my process, is to decide the size. Of course, depending on the size of the canvas, the thing that I'm painting will change. If I have more size and more space to work with, I'll do a different type of painting, definitely. But since this is around, I think it's around 60 by 60 or something like that, close to that range, 60 centimeters, I just did a portrait. And I think this portrait is very different than my usual stuff, but still very much me. My mom said that she didn't quite like it as much as some of the other stuff, but I'm like, you know what, Mom? That's fine. I like it though. And I think I did some stuff really great here, and some stuff that I could do better, or stuff that I would change in the future or do again. But yeah, as always, I'm starting with the sketch in Titan Buff, and I begin to become very happy about Titan Buff instead of white, because the titanium white that I usually use, it just doesn't get on that well. The color is fine, but you have to do more layers of it, and the spread and the flow of the paint isn't very great compared to Titan Buff, the deep color, which is a little bit more beige, but really, in reality, it looks just white, like very close to white at least, and it goes on so much easier, and I can do one layer, and it's just great. And I personally like it more. I know I just came to do that randomly, but I'm still gonna use my white, especially to lighten up colors. But again, I usually don't do that. I usually just lay on the colors flat and then I lay more colors on top of it. If you know my stuff, you know my stuff. Yeah, so that's just one thing that's have changed in the recent times, and especially with this painting, of course. Yeah. What more? Well, I have some stuff to tell you, or to talk about at least, which is my media class exam is coming up in like a month's time or something. So we have to do the movie. And we've been thinking about what we can do and what we want to do. And we can't do anything high budget action stuff because we literally have no budget. We just have our free time and school equipment. And also we can't do anything scary because it's not going to be scary in reality. We can't do anything funny because it's not guaranteed to be funny. I'm sorry, my throat is really dry. Our teacher told us that we shouldn't be trying to be doing anything scary or anything funny, because if it's not scary and if it's not funny, it's gonna ruin the whole movie. So can't do that. And also, like, none of the people in my group or me wanted to do anything like that because it's also just a huge challenge to do stuff like that. But yeah. But we decided on more drama and dialogue-based film. Like, so it's these two people. They go out camping, and the car breaks down, and stuff goes wrong, and it's about the dialogue they're having. And these people are having relationship problems, and then it goes from there. So it's a movie mostly about like talking and these two people's relationship and their dialogue with each other, which is nice. Like it's not gonna be the most action packed, but we hope to get some kind of like, yeah, just stuff in there. Oh yeah, and here I start with like Naples yellow red, which is kind of like, which looks a lot like my skin color. It's kind of like this very white beige thing, but it it doesn't really work. I'm gonna cough. Just wait up. Okay, and now I'm back. Yeah, as I was saying, so it's gonna be more of a simple movie, and it's gonna be hopefully gonna work well. And we're gonna work a lot on the cinematography, and also on the music and on the themes. And we have to really put our all into this, and we're also gonna be doing that. Like, we decided that, especially when it comes to, like, we'll focus on clothes and on writing very much, because the dialogue in this film is going to be the driving force behind how great it is. And since me and another person, we are the main actors, which is both going to be a little bit weird. So, like, it's weird to fake a relationship with someone from your class. It's a little bit weird, but it is what it is, and it's hopefully going to work. I don't know. We'll just do our best and hope for a great result. But we'll try to make a great movie. Yeah. It's actually been it hadn't been a long time since I painted, but it had been some time when I did the last painting and when I went to this one. And that had been just because I didn't go out vintage shopping or thrifting or anything, finding canvases. And I was really debating buying new canvases, but then my art teacher told me about, she had some canvases, but I could only get them on the weekend, the week after, I was. So either way, finally got a canvas, and I'm really happy to be working on this one. And I think it's really great, just, doing more stuff. And that's the best part of getting these canvases. It's saving money, because I love saving money, but it's mostly just that I know now that I have the ability of working more, making more. I'm just gonna be able to do more, which is gonna be so amazing, since that's usually what's holding me back. Either I don't have paint or I don't have canvases. Usually I don't have canvases because they are more expensive than paint, since I can only make one painting per canvas, and I can usually make more paintings per tube of paint. It depends, of course. I also decide that in my next painting, I'm also going to use some of the pink that I bought, because, I have to use it. So this is using some kind. Yeah. The great thing about buying used canvases also is that usually the people have already put a string on the back of it, so it's already ready to hang on a wall, which would be nice. I don't think I have more space on my wall. I'll try to use the space, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. But that's also fine. Another thing is my large frames are finally being shipped. Like, I finally got the email today, and I was like, oh, did they forget my order or something? But no, they just first only did it today. And I think I ordered like last week, which is like, I'm not gonna say the name of the store because it doesn't matter. It's not a big store, so like it's not something you would know either way. But like, that's a bit unprofessional. Just saying, like just, And I know they're gonna send it, and they send it either way. But like, just, if I needed that stuff like within that week, which stuff usually arrives when it's in Denmark, it usually arrives within the week. If you order on a working day. But luckily I didn't need this for anything, but you still want the stuff that you buy, especially since I need it for my 2 drawings I've made in art, or not art class, but extracurricular art stuff that I do for fun. And I had this idea of how I'm gonna frame them, but I can't test it if I don't have the frames. So it's gonna be, hopefully it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be fine. But if it's not, I'm just gonna try to return it or anything. I don't know. I can still just use it, I think. Like this here, where I did the hair, where I tried to make it brown, but I quickly realized that didn't work. Just trying to get these creatures to have like hair that looks like hair in color and texture. The texture is the hardest part for me to make, but the color just ends up not working because the red and the brown kind of clash and mix and just doesn't work great together. So I just made it black. And I do that a lot in my art. I just black out stuff, paint things over it, and sometimes I don't. This time I would say I did something very different, and that's I made this just white, or Titan buff, white outline around just the head, and kind of made it look like something was melting on top of this person's head. You can always see how much the red pops when it's just red and black, or nearly just red and black. It really pops insanely well. And here I start with these kind of markings. And I actually got the inspiration for this piece in a book in a library, where I just looked at a book of African sculptures and African tribal stuff. It had pictures of people from these different African tribes, and I saw this picture of a lady, a woman, where she had like white lines painted on her, like kind of like my portrait here. This is not an accurate portrait, and it's not because I'm saying anything about these demons or anything, not like that, don't get me wrong. I just got inspired by the face paint, which I thought was really cool. I don't know if it has a name or anything, but I just thought it looked super nice. And my usual rings that I do, my just rings everywhere, these like circles and semicircles, which means a lot of things, I think, and maybe they mean nothing, I don't know. And in here with the kind of like with the face down there, the white part, I thought it looked nice, but in the end it really didn't, so I'm gonna change it later on, just saying. And like, especially for me, I don't know about you guys, you can comment about this, but like, I promise you that like the amount of time where I'm doubting a painting, like even before it's done, I'm like, is this even gonna be good? And what am I gonna do here? And amount of times I change stuff until I get it right, it's insane. It's really, really insane. But I like it, and I do it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I have started paintings over before. If you haven't watched my last video about a painting I made, you definitely should, because holy hell, I tried to make that so many times, and I finally did it. Of course, I did it, but like, you know, so sometimes it works in the first try, and sometimes you have to do a lot of things before it works in the first try, and sometimes it doesn't even work. Then you have to do it all over again, or do something new all over again on the same canvas or same painting surface or whatever you're using. But yeah. My dad said it kind of looked like an egg, you know, just you know, I don't know what is it called in English, but you know, a runny egg running down the head of this face, and I was like, I kind of see it. That was not the point. It was just to be some kind of a distinction about where the head still was or something like that. But I can see it. Which is also something cool about art. I especially think in my art, because it's kind of abstract, and it's like people see different things, and usually people are scared of what I make or like concerned in some way. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Like, you do you. But also, realistically, in the like, this just the way I express myself. I do this art stuff for me because I really like to, and hopefully some of you guys will like it too. I think so, though, since, like, you know. And here I did a lot. And if you're new here and you watched this far, like, subscribe, and comment, because I would really appreciate it if you do so. But also, I do this a lot. Like, I do this a lot where I forget to record, especially when I'm getting farther into the canvas and into the painting. And that's not because, like, I want to forget. I just do. Sometimes I even forget doing the sketch, that's when I get most mad on myself, because then the sketch is not really, it's a necessary part of the painting, but most people just don't see it if I don't record it. So it's a little bit of the same stuff here, but right here I was getting very close to the end, and I did a bunch of stuff. I also did some stuff after this off camera, because I realized it was necessary to do so. And that's, like, sometimes that's what it is. That's necessary. That's a part of it, and that's what you need to do. It's just how it is. And, you know. And even maybe in the future, sometimes I've forgotten to record it all. Like, well, I deleted the recordings by accident in another video. You should check that out on my channel. It's called I Made a Huge Mistake, I think, because I've deleted all the videos by accident. Which is kind of the same as never recording them, but even worse, because then I knew I had the videos and I just feel kind of stupid. But the video turned out fine, and it was a decent stuff, at least. It was okay. That's also one of the great things, of course, about the way I make YouTube, because since my content is my art, that's also why I'm just turning on the camera, because I'm not gonna be doing YouTuber stuff. Like, I'm not gonna be overhyping stuff. I'm just gonna be creating, filming, and talking. That's all it's ever gonna be. It's gonna be like this to the very end, I think. Maybe there'll be some more vlogging elements if, you know, a studio tour or something like that. But really, really, it's gonna be like this. Because that's what I like to do, and maybe at some point I won't even have to make videos anymore. Like, it would be cool if I just could paint and people would buy stuff, but that's in the future and not right now. Yeah. You see I'm doing some last, like, details on the teeth here, doing the gum line. Because that's some simple color red around the teeth and around the, like, you know, to make the gum line. Just these simple small things really do a lot for a painting, like, really a lot. And even though you think it's done here, it's not. I still have a little bit more I'm gonna do, but you won't see that because I forgot to record it. But you'll see that in the end, where I'm explaining the piece to you live. Not right after I just made it, but yeah, you'll see. Well, now it's done. And you can probably already tell that I did some stuff off camera. you know, a little bit of off-camera mining, if you would say. But yeah, generally, I did some stuff, and I'm happy about it, because I did the eyes, and I did this. I removed these circles because I didn't really like them either way. I put a red here. There were the teeth and the mouth thing here. You know, I did some stuff. And most importantly, it's not actually done. It's not actually done, no. Right? I just noticed something that will bug me forever if I don't fix it. So I'll do that now. Well, sometimes you have to do it on the fly, fixing stuff, but yeah. Though, the painting is nearly done. It's actually very close to being complete. We just need here. But yeah, generally the painting is done. That's what you can give or take. I really like this painting a lot. I think it's different from my usual stuff, but still very obviously made by me. Like, you can clearly see it's my style. But I don't think I've ever been using so much white and made it so clear of what is what, and made, like you can see the top of the head has this abstract feature, like this thing that's draping down over the head. I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's just there. And also the painting is kind of split up, as you probably can see. Like, there's red down here for the red balance, and there's a lot of red here, and of course only black here. Yeah, it's generally a great, likable painting. Of course, it's also double thick and already has a string, which is really nice. But yeah, it's still like double thick, which is the first time I'm painting on a double canvas. Personally, I can't see why this would be better or worse. Like, it's, for me, it's the price that's great. Since it's a used canvas, it was a better price. But realistically, I don't care if it's double thick or just normal canvas size. Doesn't matter to me. Of course, the double size is gonna hang a little bit further off the wall, so maybe a frame would be better with a double size canvas. But again, I don't really know, and most importantly, I don't really care, because I don't frame my paintings right now. I wish I had the money to frame them, but I don't. I think a frame would really, it elevates every painting or drawing with a frame. But yeah, I just don't have the money to do that. It would just simply be too expensive to do such a thing. At least when I'm not selling them, because if I were to sell them, then I could, you know, put on a frame and charge more and stuff. As you do. But yeah, it's great. It's done. I really like it, and I hope you guys like it too. And talking about liking, I hope you like and subscribe. But mostly I hope you like this video a lot, because I really appreciate it if you watched this far. So thank you very much, and have a nice day, night, or whenever you're watching this. Just have a good day. Have a good time. Bye-bye.